Hello everyone, and welcome to our game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Mestron, and he's in the Kléber. Now I assume that's how you pronounce this ship. It's the Aetam French destroyer. Also keep in mind that Kléber is a German word meaning glue, so I might be mispronouncing this thing a little bit. I'm sorry, French people. Anyway, now he is on the map Greece in a 4-point domination game. And there is a carrier. There are 3 raiders. Well, 4 raiders, there's the black 2. And then there is this set with a powerful hydro. But none of this really matters inside the A-cap because he has some cover. And even if he gets raided here, he should be perfectly fine. What's even better, his shell arcs allow him to shoot over that island. And he's starting this off quite nicely with a fire and a free cap because the enemy didn't even try to contest this. Which is nice, the enemy is contesting B either, it looks like. So the friendlies are starting with 2 free caps. Now we have here a friendly force going towards the 10. I suppose they try pushing the 10 line into C. And they going towards the 10 line because otherwise they probably would be too open. They want to use those islands. We will see how that turns out. And here we have a few battleships that are still uncertain if they want to move or not, I guess. We will see. Now Mestron, meanwhile, is going to help defend the B-cap because there is a Baltimore that's pushing in. Now the Kléber doesn't have smoke, and well, it's like what? About 8, oh, it's 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers concealment. So Raider isn't really the biggest threat because, you know, if you aren't hiding in a smoke anyway, if you are more open water gunboating, then what's Raider going to do? Of course it can still be a nuisance if you are trying to escape because there are too many enemies, or if you're trying to shoot over an island undetected. But yeah, that Baltimore here is not the biggest concern, I guess, for Kléber. Now he's just sitting here farming a Yamato. It doesn't look like he's getting much return fire, so I mean, why not? I mean, he's already up to like 50,000 damage, which is pretty neat start. Now the Hipper here is completely broadside to the enemy ships pushing here, and quite a bit in an interesting position, let's say it like this. So that Hipper should really consider just running away. Now the 3 battleships here that, I mean, they've decided to move, unfortunately, the wrong direction. Looks like. Like this, I'm not sure why this Republic would be reversing. I mean, let's face it, what is he reversing away from? Hipper goes down, quite expected. And the enemy might just be pushing this left flank now. Now they've left this cap alone, which is nice. But you know what would be nice? Having like friendly battleships to actually block this push. So anyway, our Kléber here is going over here towards the right flank, and let's see what he can do here. We have some torps going towards Seattle. And mainly he just needs to find a nice juicy target that he can pew pew. Of course he'd probably prefer something like the Alsace and not being in front of a Seattle and a Baltimore. I'm afraid those torps are going to miss. So here we have a Shimakaze on the way towards the B-cap, which means the B-cap might just be threatened in the near future. But Mestron currently just wants to intercept this Alsace, I think. I mean, there is the opportunity to... Now his concealment is 7 kilometers, his torp range is 8 kilometers, so he can self-torp. But I mean, the enemy is behind an island too. If he could get some torps into the Alsace, it would just be lovely. So torps out, and look at that, the enemy has finally found its way towards the A-cap. Now, you remember this battleship blob? It's suspiciously still at the same place. But, you know, the Republic has decided that reversing is no longer fun. He's now just full out running away. Like, this is 3 enemy ships, well, and whoever's in the camp that are pushing here. And we've had 3 battleships who could have met this charge, like, since the start. But they just didn't care. Meanwhile, whoops into the Alsace quite nicely. Unfortunately, Alsace is still floating. And now he is trying to top this Kronstadt. I mean, thinking that Kronstadt would also be me. The Kronstadt could radar here and detect him, but as I said, like, I mean, like, Kléber's defense is speed and dodging to a large degree. So getting radared here wouldn't be too bad. The Alsace is getting farmed by something. Probably on fire by the Seattle or something. And nice. There is a top into the Kronstadt. I'm surprised the Kronstadt isn't trying to counter this with radar. Oftentimes people, when they get stalked in a radar ship, then they pop radar because they realize that there must be destroyers somewhere. But hey, oh, there is a Witherer. And, well, Kronstadt goes broadside, armor piercing is loaded, he is using his reload booster here to get as much damage as possible. The Kronstadt isn't even trying to shoot him, which is always a plus. And down goes the Kronstadt. The Alsace is still floating. I guess he got like a damage con and heal ready or something. Unfortunately, meanwhile, the friendlies have lost A and they have lost B. So their initial success is already kind of diminished. Now, on the bright side, the Richelieu is actually aggressive moving in here. Like, they've already lost 1 battleship here. Probably, well, might have eaten a few torps from whoever has capped A, I suppose. We will see if the Richelieu can do something, like he is facing now a broadside Republic. But meanwhile, our Kléber here has found the Shimmer. And well, the carrier is also getting in on the fun. But he just missed. Now he doesn't have any tools to fight the Shimmer who is hiding in smoke, and he is being detected by the planes, but the planes should soon go away. On the bright side, the Shimmer doesn't have, well, okay, he might have a Baltimore support, but there's still an island between them. But that Baltimore might come around here. Then again, the Baltimore might sail into torpedoes if it does that. So Shimmer is trying to get away. Those torps are kind of blocking the Shimmer's path towards the left. That might be why the Shimmer didn't turn left and go around this island. So, will the Shimmer just pull a Notzer here? Possibly. Oh yeah, that is Shimmer's dead. In front of a Kléber, 5 kilometers beached. Nothing the Shimmer can do here. And this means Mestron can try to retake the beacon. So, ship-wise, it's even, but the friendlies could use, and I mean, the friendlies are still in the lead because they had the caps for so long, but it's about time that they got some back. Also, the friendlies, unfortunately, have the blobbing syndrome. It basically means they are all just sitting at one place and wait for the enemy to surround them and crossfire them to death. Never a good thing. So, what's our Kléber going to do? Now he could either turn left and try to face what's coming from the left, or he can try to go right there and farm a Yamato that's on its own and then try to take the sea cap. And the friend has just lost 2 ships, that's a bit unfortunate there, because they are now quite a bit behind. If he can get torps into the Yamato, that would be lovely. Like, ideally, he approaches here, torps the Yamato, and then takes the sea cap. Of course, a plan like that will never survive reality, you know, will it? But he's commencing the plan. Torps are on the way. He is remaining unspotted for now. Now he has a choice. He could try to shoot the Yamato. But it would give his position away, and then the Yamato knows exactly where torps are coming from. Or he can just stay detected and just sail into sea and hope that his torps do some work, yeah? And I mean, after the torps flood him, he could try to set a fire. Or he could try to go for the sneaky stealth cap. I mean, the friendlies need apps and sink ships, I guess. There are the torps. There is a high caliber. And he's got the flooding, so now he opens up with his guns to set the following fire, hopefully. He's using his last reload booster here because he wants to put as much damage into this ship as he possibly can and hopefully sink him. There's the fire. Now he also wants to cap C. And he's unfortunately slightly outside of C, but if he goes in there, the island might block him. So the Yamato is... yeah, he's healing and burning. Doesn't have a damage gun, but the fire might just not be enough to sink the Yamato. And the carrier is coming in to stop this cap from happening. There is another fire, but I'm not sure when the Yamato's damage gun will be ready again. Now, of course, he's not the only one shooting this guy. The Seattle is probably doing some work there too. And Mestron has found a new victim, and that would be the carrier. So he can sit here, cap, and shoot the carrier, and I don't think anyone else can shoot him. I mean, maybe the Baltimore can find some firing angles, but I don't think so. So his position sitting here is... yeah, okay, somebody's shooting him from behind, so the Baltimore has found firing angles, I suppose. Or it's something else that we are detecting yet. But whatever is shooting him doesn't have the best aim, I guess. So he's trying to reverse and maybe get into more cover silent. The problem is if he keeps going forward, he will have to stop shooting the carrier, and he really wants to sink that carrier here. I mean, after he sinks the carrier, he can then take the cap because nobody will spot him anymore once the planes are gone. And that would just be very beneficial. Not to mention that removing the carrier at this point seems like a good idea.
On a coulé un porte-avions ennemi.
Okay then, so no longer spotted. Carrier taken care of, and he is going to take the sea cap. Now the friendlies still have a few more points, but that might change before he can... like, I mean, it's still like 15 seconds till he has this cap, so... oh, okay. Doesn't matter anyway, the friendlies just lost another ship. But hey, the Republic's still around. I don't think this guy has ever been more aggressive than the H line in the entire battle so far.
L'ennemi est sur le point de l'emporter.
Anyway, Mestron here has found himself a Baltimore, and well, there isn't really much to do other than just try to sink the Baltimore. Seattle is also getting in on the fun, it looks like. But, you know, like, he really has to sink some ships here. He could have tried some armor piercing there, but I guess he was expecting the Baltimore to angle. Now we have torps going for the Seattle. And next up he's just going to shoot the Seattle. The friendlies have taken care of the Baltimore. So, you know, they are only a little bit behind right now. If they can equalize on ships, then the friendlies are in the lead again. But first they need to equalize on ships. Now, will those torps hit? Oh, that looks like a torp hit there. Nice. Armor piercing is loaded. The Seattle is going full broadside here. And the Seattle's guns aren't even pointing this. Well, I mean, he's turning at them already, right? Well, anyway.
On a détruit un croiseur ennemi.
There you go. Now the friendlies are in the lead, and it's equal on ships. But, you know, there's a problem. There's a black. And that black is using a smoke radar combo, and there is absolutely nothing Mestron can do against it. So he's desperately trying to get some torps there on the way, hoping to get lucky. But he can't really escape the radar. He can't spot the blank. He's trying a desperate last-ditch effort with a charge there, but he's just so low. Well, he needs to land his torp salvo because the black will one-shot him. And there is the black. He got some torps off though. Will the torps hit? Oh yes. That's another devastating strike there. Kraken, and it's just a flesh wound. So, the friendlies are in the lead. They have the same amount of caps. The friendlies have more points. And on a bright side, like the enemy battleships are just chasing this Republic. While the Republic hasn't really done anything this whole battle. Well, not too useful stuff, I guess. At least he's staying alive now, hopefully. So let's speed this up, because this might just end with the clock going down to 0. So the friendly Ibuki is going for B. We get a good look here at everything. Republic is going down. And well, that's the win here. And here we are with the results. Mestron earned himself 3,237 base experience. Nicely done. He really had to carry hard in this one. It's also a bit sad that the Republic is so high in the scoreboard. I mean, he survived the entire game, and that gave him some time to damage, I suppose. But if he'd been more aggressive, this wouldn't have been so hard. Like, the friendlies could have had so much an easier game if the Republic had just found its W button at some point. But anyway. Mestron achieved a devastating strike, a Confederate, a Kraken, it's just a flesh wound, a Vidara at a high caliber, scoring 319,000 points of damage and sinking 5 enemy ships. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys next time.